Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Monday, April 8th of 2024. It's another edition of Litter Media Live with the icon Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey, and here we are on Solar Eclipse Day. Are you excited?
I think the sun and the moon are taking the icon cue today. They're stealing all of our attention.
Yeah, so you're just a has-been.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the sun and the moon are like, we always have been.
Yeah, they always shine brighter than Mike Smith does.
That's true, except for off of our foreheads here. That makes a difference. We're going to talk about the eclipse here in just a moment, so we'll touch on that. We'll also have, all kinds of things that we're going to share with you. It's Monday, so we have kind of like a weekend recap.
Weekend to catch up.
That kind of deal. So, and what's ahead for the week as well. So plenty of things to share with you here today on Litter Media Live. If you've never seen our program before, we do this every Monday through Friday. And we also have special editions, too, where we talk to certain individuals in our community about things that are going on that they're involved with. You can see a lot of the previous conversations we've had on our YouTube channel, as well as in the video section here on our Facebook page. And you can follow along with a lot of the news stories that we'll do on our website, which is littermedia.com. And we also follow with the high school sports scene, baseball, softball, you've got track and field, all that stuff going on right now. Mike follows that on our Litter Media X account, formerly Twitter. So all the ways you can take a peek and listen in. And you can also find us on Spotify. How about that?
All right.
So having covered all those bases, coming up in a moment, we will take a look at what the weather is doing for today. So we'll share details for you there. But first, let's tell you about our friends at Scioto Valley Dumpsters, which I'm trying to find and I can't find it here. Oh, there it is.
There it is right there.
Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Give them a call at 740-253-8389. If you've got a, what have I done here? I've lost the program. I know it's on here. There it is.
There we go.
If you,
It got thrown in the dumpster.
Much like this show sometimes is thrown into a dumpster as well. If you have need for a dumpster, give a call to Scioto Valley Dumpsters at 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters and their services. This is a bit of a problem for me jumping back and forth here with these because I'm producing the show today. Mm-hmm. And Aaron Glandon is actually out keeping an eye on the sky for today.
But hopefully not looking directly at the sun.
Precisely.
Without his protective glasses.
And we shall discuss that as well coming up here in a moment. All right, but first, stand by. We'll take a look at what's happening in the news department for you here shortly, so stick close for that. But first, these words from our fine sponsors.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
As we mentioned, you can always follow along at littermedia.com for some of the stories we're going to be talking about today. And at the top of the news is...
Well, Solar Eclipse Day. As we're doing this program live at about 11, we have about 4 hours to go before The eclipse takes place stretching from southwest Ohio all the way across the northeastern part of the state. I think our visibility is going to be somewhere between 3:10 and 3:14 p.m. And so, keep an eye on that. They're saying a mixture of sun and clouds. They said the higher elevation clouds, you should still be able to see the eclipse. It's the lower lying clouds, if they're thick enough, you'll be obscured. But they're hopeful that it's just going to be the higher clouds. It's a nice day out. I went on out with short sleeves to the mailbox this morning. I think we're originally, I think we started out at about upper 50s. We may be up in the 60s by now, but 72 will be the high later today before we get rain over the next few days.
One of the things about the solar eclipse that perhaps we're not thinking about is, what if there were inclement weather? Well, the folks at the Armstrong Museum, they decided to make plans here. In case of inclement weather for viewing the eclipse, the museum has set an alternate rain date for Monday, September 14th of 2099.
Yeah.
That's pretty good humor right there, I think. But we also want to remind you that the eclipse can also be viewed through NASA. So NASA has, and I shared this on our Facebook page earlier, so you'll be able to find this feed. It's a satellite feed that they will do that is following it, and I printed off the information. It's over on the printer over here. But you'll be able to watch it from Mexico all the way through Texas, on up into through Midwestern United States, here in Ohio, and on into Canada. They're going to start this feed at like 1 o'clock this afternoon. So keep that handy here on your radio page.
Now, if you're seeing some national news talking about we won't see another eclipse until 2044, that's in the Northeast. And yet, remember, most of the national news is coming out of New York City. We in Ohio won't have another one as far as a total eclipse until 2099.
Okay.
And
All
this
right.
is the first since 1806. And I wasn't around for that.
Yeah, I wasn't here either. I'm trying to think. Wasn't Abraham Lincoln born in like 1809?
Something.
So even he wasn't around
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But Ohio was a state. We can't
is
say
correct.
that much.
Yeah.
All right, some of the other stories that are making news for us today. City of Chillicothe has announced a road closure for this week. They continue with all that working for Columbia Gas. The workers are doing all the digging up of the roadways. East Main Street, East 4th, North and South Hickory Streets, South Mulberry Street, work also extending into the alley off of East Main between North Hickory and North Mulberry, as well as East 5th Street between South Mulberry and Madeira Avenue. So all of that work will be going on this week.
A big weekend for the Ross County Historical Society. The Region 9 Local History Alliance meeting was held here in Chillicothe at the Ross Historical Society or Historical Center over the weekend. This desk, this was actually posted by the Pike Heritage Museum, who participated, and they were alluding to the fact that this desk at the Ross Historical Center has a connection to Pike County, because it was owned by James Emmett of Waverly. How we got it, I don't know. Hopefully it was not by illegal means, but maybe an understanding that, well, this has got some state historical significance, and the first capital should probably
Maybe
have
they
it.
floated it up the canal.
It could be.
get to
Could be.
us.
That's what I would say is a very ornate desk.
That is, yes, and it looks very secure. Mm-hmm. You can close it up. This is the kind of desk my wife would like me to have, because I've got stuff piled everywhere. That way you would hide the clutter, I guess.
Yeah.
The 2024 Hershey Heartwarming Young Heroes Youth Guarantee. Now, this is not the right story, is it?
Yeah, this is Wingate.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, why don't you hop into it?
Okay, yeah. If you're looking to participate in, maybe some artistry, if you're a crafter, the Wingate Senior Living Community on North Ridge Road in Circleville will be hosting their Chalk Walk and Art Show. That's this coming Saturday, the 13th. All ages and skill levels are welcome to join in on the fun and display, or just come and enjoy the artwork. There'll be live music, raffle baskets, a kids' activity table, and light refreshments. For more information or to RSVP, call 740-963-6091. Now, artist artwork can start either on Friday or you can go anytime on Saturday, which is the date of the actual event from 1 to 3 p.m.
Now the 2024 Hershey's Heartwarming Young Heroes Youth Grantees, including Ross County Youth. That's Bishop Leger 5th grader Davis Long is one of 134 youth change makers representing 39 U.S. states, territories, and Canadian provinces who have been awarded grants of up to $500 to lead projects to improve their communities during Global Youth Service Day, which is just around the corner, April 26th through the 28th. Davis did a major fundraiser for his birthday and donated 50 bags to Adena Cancer Center. He's looking for major donors to be able to make as many bags as possible. Now, this Go bag includes a number of necessary items that will assist patients in need when going to the hospital for treatment or appointments. Now, this would take place at the local Adena Cancer Center here in Chillicothe.
Next up in the news, if you're into health and being one of the safety officers in our community, well, they're looking for club presentation ideas, health career awareness, and hands-on fun. Ross 4-H and Adena Health inviting you to the Healthy Living and Safety Officer Boot Camp from 10 a.m. until noon, Saturday, April the 27th. That's at the Adena Packard Medical Education Center in Chillicothe. To register, go to go.osu.edu/has, as in O Boot Camp. Has O Boot Camp.
Hazu Boot Camp.
I guess. I don't know what that stands for, but
That's a good question.
I thought it maybe was supposed to be OSU, but no, it was not. So,
Well, it looks like Healthy Assistant Safety Officer, maybe.
maybe.
'Cause
Your
it's
guess
Healthy
is
Living and,
as good as mine.
and Safety Officer. Hopewell Culture National Historical Park will be celebrating National Park Week with a Junior Ranger Field Day at the Mound City Group Visitor Center. That's on 104 here in Chillicothe. You can join them for Junior Ranger Day, April 27th, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. You can even become a Junior Ranger by earning a badge in several different challenges. So if you'd like to participate in that, you'll find more details at our friends at Hopewell. I drove by there the other day. There were cars everywhere. They were packed left and right all over the place. So they may need to expand that parking lot with World Heritage.
I was thinking that very same thing. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Forestry will be coordinating a commemorative tree planting in each of Ohio's 88 counties this spring. The reason? Well, if you missed our earlier story this year, this is the Ohio Department of Natural Resources' 75th anniversary. The majority of the trees will be planted in April, leading up to Arbor Day, which is April the 26th. Our road report today stays in Ross County. In fact, today is the scheduled day that they're planning to install a turbo lane on US 23 at the Trago Creek Road intersection. Now, work will occur daily for the duration of the project, which goes through this fall. So there's several months of work to get all that done.
We were talking about what a turbo lane is, and I was driving through that area over the weekend, and they're set up basically to make it like a longer lane to be able to get into the lane quicker than 5 seconds before you get to the point where you want to turn. All right, just ahead, we'll take a look at what's happening with sports here in just a few short moments, so stay close for that. A lot of weekend activity for our high school teams and more. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. You'll find them by clicking this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com. That will take you directly to their website, which is accuratehvac.com, to learn more about the services they provide, and not only the services, but also the territories where they certainly are probably going to be, unless you're living and watching outside of Columbus, beyond Dayton, beyond Athens and Portsmouth, anything in that territory right there, Accurate takes care of. So if you want to find out more, click on this ad and you'll be able to get all the details you need for accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing. Sports is next.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Litter Media Live also brought to you in part by Adena Health. For more information about Adena Health, its healthcare providers, and full range of services, visit adena.org.
Time for sports, and we begin with the high school roundup.
Now, this came out late Friday afternoon. The Ohio High School Athletic Association has announced that football 7-on-7 competition is now permitted at any time prior to and after the football season, other than the 28-day no-contact period immediately after high school football season. Previously, 7-on-7 was not permitted until May 15th. Full practice and hitting are still not permitted during 7-on-7 play, with helmets and cleats being the only equipment permitted. Football 7-on-7 competition does not include the 5 interior linemen and uses either flags or touching the ball carrier to end play, rather than tackling. So this is kind of like exhibition stuff to prepare.
Is it possible we may transition to spring football?
I think that's where we're going with this. This is just a baby step to eventually get to that, because I think the Coaches Association is lobbying for spring football practice.
And I imagine if that were to happen, spring sports obviously would be impacted in some fashion. Much probably like open gyms during the summertime.
Yeah, the bigger schools could probably do it, no sweat. But the smaller schools, I'm afraid that could have a really bad impact for the other sports.
Yeah, because how often have we seen in our smaller schools like Paint Valley, most of those kids are playing baseball or running track.
Right.
So that'll be something they'll have to deal with down the road, certainly.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, baseball and softball games were played. Any of these stand out to you?
Not really. A lot of doubleheaders, and as Dan alluded to last week, you're seeing a lot more of these. It's almost, the way I described it last week, it's almost like a volleyball quad match where 4 teams will get together and you may play three games. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing a lot more of those. Where you might, like for example, softball, you got Hillsborough playing a doubleheader, but then they might throw somebody else in there and play that third game of the day. So, but yeah, almost all of those were non-conference games. The exception is where you see the conference in parentheses above it, and most generally those were makeup games because of the rain.
Yeah. Of course, yesterday was National Championship Day for the women.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawks lose to undefeated South Carolina, 87-75, 38-0. That's not too bad.
And they didn't lose a game last year either, right?
But they lost all of their starters from last year.
That's scary.
So they lost everybody that was a starter on last year's team, and this year, I think this actually it was 2 years ago they won the national championship. So it's 2 out of the last 3 years for them.
That's incredible. And, of course, the men will go at it tonight.
And UConn tries to become the first team since Florida men to win back-to-back national championships. You might remember one of those was against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Way back in the 90s? When Oden and those kids played for Ohio State that one year?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
That might have been the early 2000s.
Could
because Thad Matta was coaching. And
What was Billy? The coach of the Florida Gators?
Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, 2 number 1 seeds. So that kind of works out the way you think it should.
Yeah.
But Purdue representing the Big Ten, so go Boilermakers.
Cincinnati Reds came up short yesterday, and Andrew Abbott was kind of up and down throughout the day. TJ Antone came in to pitch and then threw one pitch and had to leave.
Yeah.
There's a lot of concern. Of course, he's had back-to-back Tommy John surgeries, and I guess he's having an MRI today.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the MRI determines.
Reds missed their opportunity. It was the inning they scored the 1 run on a sacrifice fly, but they had the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yeah.
And even after that, bases loaded. Well, they ended up loading the bases again and had 1 out, and then the second baseman, what was it?
Thompson.
Yeah, hits into a double play to end the inning, so
Yeah.
they didn't get much of a chance after that. Guardians were rained out, by the way, yesterday against the Twins, but they have their home season opener
Their eclipse today.
because that game had to be moved because of the eclipse. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be earlier, but they moved it to like a 5:10 start.
So everyone could enjoy the eclipse before the game.
This is the one that blew my mind. I tuned in at halftime, and Cleveland was ahead at halftime, 80-59. I think they set that was a club record for points in the first half.
Wow.
And then they lose. They scored only 38 points.
They've been on the
the
West
second
Coast for, the last 5 games or so.
Yeah.
And wacky things happen when they go out west.
So not a good day for the Cleveland collapse.
Nor for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Again, the season cannot end soon enough, I think, for the Blue Jackets. 3-0 the final, falling to the Carolina Hurricanes.
I think they said their goalie had 35 saves, and they still get shut out. You got to have a little offense. You got to help those guys.
That's a lot of opportunities,
Yeah.
So they're coming right at you there. All right, that's a look at what's happening in regards to sports. Coming up in just a moment, we'll take a look at this date in history. But first, Litter Quality Propane.
Online all the time. Customer payment, account information, and more. Log on at litterpropane.com.
At Country Clipper, pride runs deep. We take pride in knowing our mowers help create a space for families to make memories. That our features transform mowing into an enjoyable experience. Most importantly, we take pride in knowing the decision to purchase a Country Clipper will be one you can be proud of for years to come. Country Clipper zero-turn mowers.
818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe for Hometown Motors Incorporated.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good. And Litter Media Live brought to you in part by our friends at Haynes Total Healthcare Center. Chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs, and more. If you want to find out more, simply click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you right to their website, which is hayneshealth.com for Haynes Total Healthcare Center. Time to take a look at this date in history, and we're back to sports again, right?
This is one of those iconic history moments, even though it's sports. Where were you when this happened? Can you remember 1974, April 8th?
I'm trying to remember. I remember seeing it, but I think it might have been on a news sports clip that I saw it live. I didn't get to see the game live, I don't think.
Yeah, we're talking about Hank Aaron. I remember it was opening day in Cincinnati when he tied Babe Ruth's record at 714. But on this day in Atlanta, 1974, Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves hits number 715 to surpass the legendary Babe Ruth. A crowd of 53,775, the largest in the history of Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, was with Aaron that night to cheer when he hit a fourth-inning home run off the Dodgers' lefty Al Downing. However, as Aaron was an African-American who had received multiple death threats and racist hate mail during his pursuit of one of baseball's iconic figures, the achievement was bittersweet.
Pretty cool, though. Yeah. I mean, we were listening a while ago to the Hall of Fame announcers. The Major League Baseball Network put together a little montage. Bob Costas had reported on this, and Kurt Gowdy, he said he did it 4 times. He said, he did it. He did it. Lets Babe go around the base paths, and then he comes across the base paths, and he says, he did it. And then off mic, he's like talking to us, he did it.
I think I heard Gowdy's call because I was watching NBC that night. Miles Hamilton was the Braves announcer, who's in the Baseball Hall of Fame for announcers. And then the Dodgers announcer,
Vin Scully,
who is on our desk over here.
Yes.
Bobblehead Vin.
He described it as no one else could describe it.
Yeah.
And he brought in the impact. He said, what a great day for the country, for the world. And then he says, a black man in the Deep South gets a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And the long-lasting impact of that. So, yeah.
Hank, I think the most home runs he ever had in a single season might have been, ironically, 44. Which was his jersey number, where Ruth had 60 and so forth. But, that was quite an achievement, especially with all the crud that he had to put up with from idiots out there.
I was one, like many kids that time, collecting baseball cards, and I remember coming across this, and when he had broken the record, that was when I learned that the Braves were in Milwaukee at one point in time. And then learned that the Braves were also in Boston at one time. And so looking at those cards, you got a lot of information off those cards at times.
I believe the only world championship team that Hank ever played on was when they were in Milwaukee with the Braves, because they never won it in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, the great teams Atlanta had that won, but that was after 90s. Hank Aaron. Yeah. So. In fact, I think he played, when he was at Milwaukee, he played with Warren Spahn, pitcher, Hall of Famer. Eddie Matthews might have been there for some of that in Milwaukee, but a lot of people have forgotten that, the Braves were in Milwaukee too, as well as Boston in the earlier days. So,
and I think that came to light for some when the Brewers first made the World Series.
Yeah.
What was that, 82, I think? And it was like, wait a second, Milwaukee's been here before? Yeah, but only as the Braves, not the Brewers.
And that's who the Reds play.
They are
later tonight, the Milwaukee Brewers. So.
Which is a new look team. You don't have the manager there anymore. He's now in Chicago, and they have kind of jostled their lineup around a little bit. Another thing I took from watching the footage of Hank hitting the home run was the litter that was strewn along the baseball field. You don't see that anymore. I mean, they manicure these fields anymore and keep people off the fields. And, of course, when he's rounding second base, here come 2 guys, and they run up along with him to run around third. Yeah. You don't see that anymore. And if you do, the security guards are usually tackling them before they get very far.
They just wanted to pat him on the back, and then they left.
And be a part of history in that regard. But even the catcher, Ferguson, was – and I wonder what the conversation was like when he came to the plate.
I think I remember Johnny Bench also patting Hank or shook his hand when he hit home plate, when he tied it in Cincinnati. So.
But it's like the guy that's photobombing the moment. Because he's got the different uniform, and he's usually kind of looking down or whatever. It looks a little disgusted, and it just kind of wonder if maybe Ferguson didn't look at Al Downing out there, throw a sign, and say, "Let's just get this over with."
Get this over with. Yeah. Throw him a fat one. It was a nice pitch over the plate.
And even when Downing winds up and throws the pitch, it's nothing like the pause and everything that we have today. It's just, here it comes. It's coming at you, and kind of this laissez throw and. Did the Braves win that game?
I don't even remember. Everybody gets caught up in the moment. You forget.
You remember that landmark moment, but forget about what really counted.
Yeah.
There was a won or a loss in that. So, all right. Tomorrow, do we have a special edition?
Yes. Coming up at 10 o'clock. Let me double check here the calendar. I think we have a couple this week. Tomorrow morning, Ross County Junior Achievement, Ty Park, and we don't know whether to call her Susan or Kim Jones. They'll be in. Then later, I guess Friday would be the next one. Melody Young will be in with you that morning at 10 because I can't be here. I think it's World Heritage Week the following week.
Yeah, the following week.
So Mel will be in maybe with Gene Betts on Friday morning, of this week.
I was looking through the schedule for what they sent in their press release, and a number of these events are going to be taking place outside of Chillicothe. Mm-hmm. So Newark has a handful of things planned. Fort Ancient has a number of things planned, just one or two, I believe, here in Chillicothe. So we'll get the lowdown from Melody when she's here on Friday. So until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Coming up at 1 o'clock again, you'll check that NASA feed that we have here on our Facebook page, and that way you can watch the solar eclipse, and you can watch it safely and not have to worry about wearing your glasses. Yes, don't wear the glasses if you're going to sit in front of the computer screen.
Right. And don't wear them while you're driving in your automobile.
You don't want to do that. And if you are like us with corrective lenses, wear them over, not under the corrective lenses. So just a few things to pass along to you as well. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and thanks for watching another edition of Litter Media Live.